My name's Alan Giertz, and Mike contacted me here to come out here this evening and speak to you a couple minutes. I live here in Woodridge, but I'm the author of a job searching book called Unemployed, No Problem. And each of you have a little packet there on your tables that gives a little bit of background about myself. You have some book facts, and you have the actual cover of the book. And I just wanted to speak a little bit about the process that I went through in writing this book. First of all, it took me a very long time to do it. Okay? You don't do this in a week or a month or even a year. I had the idea, I had an outline of what I wanted to say in the book, but what I needed help with was the editing portion of it. That's what I didn't have to make it readable in the book form. And so I found somebody that used to be in the business that helped me a great deal. He wasn't cheap, but he done wonders with what I had and made it much more interesting and credible for publishers to read. It took me about a year and a half to write, update, and get the book to where I had a manuscript in case somebody, a publisher, wanted me to send them a manuscript. But I did go through hundreds and hundreds of publishers, and the problem with that was that some publishers didn't handle the subject matter, and for those who did, they weren't looking for something, or they just didn't feel that it felt put in their game plan. What's this book about? Well, it's got 13 areas in it that can help a job search move forward. How does it do that, you might ask? Well, by covering topics that aren't covered a lot. What I discovered, being unemployed a lot, I learned a lot about job searching, and I saw just some topics out there that weren't being covered that were important to me, and I felt that if they were important to me, they would be important to other unemployed people. And I'm going to cover 5 of them real quickly here because I know you guys got a full schedule here, and I do have another commitment to go to. But the number one thing that I saw that wasn't being talked about was the financial impact that an unemployed person has. Okay, it totally changes. And nobody in the groups that I went to talked about that. You know, how do you, one day you're employed, the next day you're in survival mode. How do you adjust your budget to bare bones? How do you cut expenses elsewhere to save money? What if you don't have a budget? Just all kinds of financial things that an unemployed person needs to know right off the bat. So that was, to me, a very, very important chapter, and it's the longest chapter in my book. In unemployed benefits, it used to have a booklet of benefits, and today I guess it's online, so they tell me. But a lot of people don't read those, so they don't know what options are out there for them. And what I learned from that, by sitting down and reading this, is in the state of Illinois, I could work part-time and earn up to 50% of my weekly benefit and still collect both. Where in my original state of Indiana, I only could get one or the other. So Illinois was a plus for me because I didn't know I could do that. And third thing is support groups. This is where it all started to come together for me. The free education I got in there really started to put things together for me where, we talk about interviewing and resumes and cover letters, and then we'd go out there and actually do it the week after and in our interviews. And I saw a big improvement in the group that I was in, and plus for myself. Some are free, some have costs. Well, when you're not working, free is good. Okay? And you have to commit to a support group or a job club. Okay? You can't go 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You got to commit to 4 or 5 months to really get the education in the process that will help you go out there and find the next job. How much are you worth? Most people don't know how to negotiate salaries. Okay? And they also don't know the position they're in or worked in. They don't know how much that position is worth. And today, it's all online. There's a massive amount of information on there, like salary.com, Salary Expert, where you can go in there and get what your position is worth, okay? Because what's going to happen is when you go interview for another job, the employer is going to try and get you for the minimum where you want the maximum. So you need a little knowledge there to go in there and get a happy medium in there. And most people don't know how to do that, and it takes a lot of practice to really get good at it. And lastly, legal and illegal questions on applications. You'd be amazed at the amount of questions are on applications that are illegal, okay? They should not be asked at that stage of the interview, but they are. And it goes to the Equal Employment Opportunity Act of 1967. But I cover that in my book. You can probably also get information on the at the library. But it's just for your information to know, you know, that when you go into to fill out an application, what should they be asking and what shouldn't they be asking? But a lot of people don't know. So it was a tough process. It took me a long time, but I finally found a publisher that thought my information was valuable. And it's just great to see the finished product. So I thank you very much.